Welcome. In a previous video I talked about installing Ubuntu on the Virtual Machine Manager on a Synology NAS, and today I want to talk about cloning a machine. So where you might want to clone is if you are doing some development and you want to clone to try something out, or maybe you want to deploy different servers but the base setup is the same. So you can clone a machine to do that. So I recently did that for another video I made, which was using the app cacher ng, and I had to clone some machines. Oh, I did it to save some time. So I'm going to go over the process I used now to do that. So I cloned this app client 1, app client 2, and I want to make an app client 3. So I'll click this app client 2 and I'll go over here to shutdown and I'll click it and I'll say shut down. You can also log into the machine to shut it down also. And once this is shut down, we can go up here to action and say clone, and I'll name this one app client 3, and I just want one copy, and I'll hit OK. Okay, so it's cloned it, and now we'll power it on. And I'll also power on app client 2. Okay, so both machines are up and running, and if you're looking here, you may notice a problem that both of these have the same IP address, which is not good. That can cause all sorts of problems. So what we want to do is go into our cloned machine, and we'll hit connect, and we'll get into the interface here, and I'll log into it. And what we need to do is change the machine ID. So to do that, I'll type sudo space rm space -f space and then etc slash and then machine -id. Now I want to do a similar command. I'll say sudo space rm space -f space /var /lib /dbus /machine ID. So now I've removed the machine ID from two locations. I want to type in sudo dbus -uuidgen space --ensure equals /etc /machine ID machine-id. I may say the words wrong, so look at the screen. Hit enter, and then I'll push the up arrow and I'll do the same command and I'll remove the etc machine ID and the equal sign. Okay, so now I'll type in sudo space nano space /etc /hostname, and I'll just change the host name here to app client 3, and I'll hit Control O and enter to save, then Control X to exit. You can use any text editor to do that. And then I'll just say sudo space reboot. This shouldn't take very long to reboot. And then when we log back in, we have one more thing to do. Okay, so I'm logged back in. If we go over to the disk station now, it might take a second for this to update. There we go. So now it's giving us its own IP address. So it's looking at it as its own machine now. And the one last thing we have to do is this is running OpenSSH server, and it has the same key as the other machine. So the easy way to do this is just to say sudo space apt space purge space OpenSSH server, and then enter, and then we'll type in the password. Now I don't think you can do this if you're SSH'd into the machine, but I'm using the Virtual Machine Manager thing here. And if you're sitting at the computer, it shouldn't be a problem either. when I say, it says, do you want to continue? I'll say yes. And then I'll just say sudo space apt space install open SSH-server, and it will reinstall the server. There are other techniques you could use to reset the key. This is a simple one to do, is to just purge it and then reinstall it, and then you'll have a fresh key. So there we have it. We have cloned this machine, so now we can do with it whatever we want. There could be other software on a machine or other IDs that would have to be changed or reset, but this is just the basics. These are just pretty much empty instances. There's nothing running on them right now. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.